Well, it's about 7:45 Friday morning here, going on a special Gravely trip with a special guest coming along. And I can't wait. We got to go down to Pennsylvania and go to the Gravely Blow-In. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. The only problem is that tomorrow, Saturday, it's supposed to snow up here. And I don't know how we're going to get home because it's supposed to be snowing when we got to drive home. So we might have to stay an extra night, but we'll see what happens. All right, we made it to Wawa, so we're in Pennsylvania. Here's my special guest that's with us. Who we got here? We got Dennis. What kind of hoagie did you get, Dennis?
Roast beef.
I got turkey.
Roast beef with everything.
Score. Got a big one, too. So 6 of us got in a car and drove to Delaware to a dealer there called Gravely Hokehessen. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name of the town right. But anyways, it's 10 minutes from where we were in Pennsylvania. We needed a couple parts to work on the projects for tomorrow. So we went on a little road trip. Yeah, a group photo.
Group photo.
Yeah. Who's in the car here? We got Steve.
Hiya.
Dennis.
Hi, Ralph.
Ralph and Dirk.
Yep.
All right. How many states are represented in this car? At least 6?
Maryland.
5?
I'm from Pennsylvania, too.
Pennsylvania, yep. That's cool. Got Ben Gravely in the corner over there, too.
There you go.
Got Steve with the Rapid over here. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Sunset tonight. Over there.
Retention basins and trees.
Look at that, huh? All right, it's the morning of the blow-in now. Saturday morning. We start about 7:30. And we're going to work on some good projects today. We've got a lot of guys coming. It should be a fun day. We've got a whoopie pie for breakfast here.
Yep.
Now, the Gravely Blow-In is a really unique event. We have members of the Gravely Tractor Club of America there. We usually have a project to work on. So when all the members get their hands dirty, work on something, learn about something, teach each other things, it's really a lot of fun. This year we have 4 projects. 2 of the oldest Graveleys that ever existed, a Model D and a 1938 Model L. And then fast forward into new stuff from the 2000s era, the Gravely Rapid, which was made in, I think, Switzerland, and just rebranded Gravely, so they didn't really make it. But we have the oldest stuff and the newest stuff, so it's kind of cool.
Everybody knows Duke. Duke is the absolute best chef here, I can assure you. He has got a great lunch, but you can't eat until that thing runs. All right? This is 13th. Huh? 13th blow-in.
Right. It's
unbelievable how 13 years passed.
Mm-hmm.
You've never missed a lunch. You've never missed a lunch. So
That'll change today.
Because each one of these 4 people with shift has to run by noon.
So it just has to run, doesn't have to be able to drive. All right, it'll take 10 minutes for that. Just squirt a ether, bam, it's running. I'm eating lunch.
Alex is in charge of the Model D. Anybody who's interested in a Model D and how it won't run today or will run today, call up with Alex. One of the big deals we got today is tools are going to be a mess because we got 4 teams fighting over tools. All right, so don't steal somebody's favorite tool. The next tractor, Dirk, where are you?
Right here.
This is Dirk's tractor that he went from hell on earth to get. I'm going to talk about that in a second. The craziness got started because that tractor over here came up for sale and I couldn't resist it. This is way, way out of my comfort zone, but it has to run by noon. That, I believe, will run around 4 by noon. But that's so. Steve has agreed to be the captain on that team. Steve is looking for anybody who knows anything about it to help him. And I think he's going to have a voltmeter out before it's not too long here. All right. In the middle, Ralph has decided that he is going to take that challenge. Ralph is a guy over there. He's a shit. Now, those 2 do not have long-term homes here, if you get my drift. So I'm hoping that somebody would fall in love with one of those things and say, load that in my truck and here's some cash. All right? They're a very interesting, goofy machine. So you're going to have to help me out with the facts. In 1937, 38, 39, Gravely teamed up with a company called Cooper Stuart. Cooper Stuart was in charge. They're an English company that had an office in Chicago. Their big deal was to take American technology overseas. So they would buy the latest and greatest American technology, ship it overseas, sell it. So they're a little like Gravely with this, where this is overseas technology that came back here. This is what, Swedish? I think it's Swedish. Let's go with Swedish. This was built obviously in Dunbar, sold to Cooper Stewart. They put their badge on it. So if you look at this badge right here, this is a Gravely badge with Cooper Stewart. I think they took the Gravely number and redid it on this badge. So study this badge. You'll see it's a whole different company. All right, so as the Model Ds, the production was sent over to England and they brought them back to sell them. This was made in the U.S. and sent overseas back when the U.S. could make them themselves.
So we got in the back.
So
And back here.
this was made in Dunbar.
But it went to England and came back.
Went to England,
Oh.
right?
Yep,
Straight
correct.
to England. Got rebadged as a
Cooper Stewart under the Gravely label.
under the Gravely label.
Yeah. And somebody brought it back to the U.S.
Slow down, slow down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All Gravely stories.
All right.
So just as this unit wandered the world looking for a place, Dirk has wandered the world looking for a place. All right, so the fine gentleman in England, I don't know.
Alan Bean and his son Jeffrey.
Yep, anybody familiar with that name? He's an English.
He's a comedian, right?
No, not
Isn't
that
that-
Bean.
Oh, okay.
No.
Mr. Bean
Yeah.
had this tractor, and nobody knew how to get a rowboat to England to get it back. Dirk is crazy. In case you haven't met him, he's nuts. You were stationed in England. Where were you stationed?
I was actually in Germany at the time, stationed in Germany. Alan came up, or his son came up, said, "Hey, my dad, look at this. He put this modern Gravely together. I'm using it." Well, in the background, I could see in that corral, in the back of the shed, the bent handlebars. So I got a hold of the son who put me in touch with the dad, and I went and visited the dad, Alan. He put me up, and so with that having happened, we looked at this and I wanted to document it, make sure it was recorded, everything, that there was a history with it that we could all refer back to. So shortly thereafter, a few months later, I redeployed back to the States, and Alan sends me an email and says, "Well, hey, if you can figure out how to get this back to the States, it's yours if you come and get it." And what I heard was double dog dare you. Yep.
So he called me up and said, "Rich, I'd love to have this tractor, but I can't get it home. It's free, but I can't get it home." So I passed. I was like, "Dirk, I double dog dare you." So this became the household goods of a buddy of yours.
Yep.
He said, "It'll be in the States, but it might take a while because he's got to relocate."
Yep.
So it got shipped. No, it got prepared, right? It went to a preparation place
So,
where they drained it for
Well,
fluids.
I went when I figured out that I had a tentative plan. I went back overseas and picked up me and a buddy. He happened to have a truck in Germany, so we made the drive down to France, crossed in the Channel, up the coast, almost to Scotland, to Darlington. So we loaded that up in his truck and made that in reverse. And then I took it to another friend who had an auto shop, and we pressure steamed it to get all the oil and grease off, because you can't have nothing, fluids, etc., for shipping like that.
Cool.
So it came back 2 years after you
Yeah.
acquired it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so it showed up yesterday. I said, "Dirk, I'm gonna fire it up." He's like, "Yeah, it's fired up."
So does it have cosmoline or any other kind of preservative?
But it did have, so Alan had packaged it all up and sealed it with a gasket sealer, but before that he had packed some of it with grease And then he had poured not a cosmoline, but some kind of a mineral spirits inside to keep it all lubricated.
Yeah,
But
water, you want to keep the water clean.
yep, absolutely, moisture, etc. So he had done a great job preparing it. When I took it to my buddies in Germany at the auto shop, I just simply steam washed it, put it on the rack and steam cleaned it, and got it ready literally for shipment, and then took it back to Ramstein, and when he come home, he bought it from his household goods and antique.
So is it metric or is it standard?
That's the next conversation.
So
Oh, the story is nothing.
Oh, the story's far from that. So if any of you guys were here when we were working on the English Imperial, we went down the rabbit hole. You had U.S. metric, British standard, British fine, British Whitworth, yada. This thing has changes. So one of our things today is learn what bolts are which. So like this bolt right here is British Whitworth force, which is unlike any other bolt you've ever seen in your life. Unless you think it's 3/8 bolt, it ain't. Right, it's actually what a 5/16 bolt and 3/8 conversion with different angles. It's a whole different bolt. So what I think happened is they sent us over and they said, well, we got to change this bolt, and this bolt. But nobody has wrenches for a US bolt. I'm sure you're not. So if you're interested in going down that rabbit hole, and I assure you it's a rabbit hole, take a peek at some of those bolts.
That's cool.
and just so everyone knows, there is a set of 3 open wrenches there with the different sizes. Be mindful when you put it on a bolt that you're not tearing up a bolt, because it's a very hard to find.
Very hard to find bolt.
So do some caliper work on all
You can.
What's the name of the town where this thing originally was? Where you found it?
Okay, so we were looking through some literature that Rich has available. He had done separate research on the import-export during between the war era, the big wars. So he found Cooper Stuart literature for the Gravely, the Model L's and the Model D's that was in between the wars. And separately, he had that information, the history of the import-export and what they had available. And unbeknownst to me, I just happened to pick up one of the tractors that's illustrated in his literature. And so where Alan lives is Bernard Castle. Lord Bernard owns all of that around him. And then the manufacturing, the industrial hub was Darlington, which is where Alan took me. It was the first railroad in England, etc. So that import-export company, somehow there was a dealership in Darlington that would have serviced the surrounding countryside. And that was their industrial hub in that part of England.
Was that Buckley?
This was up in the north. So up in the north, Darlington was the industrial hub. A lot of Scots lived there. They migrated to go work just like we would have to go up to Ohio and work in the auto or industrial trades.
So one more time, what was the name of the town where this Allen guy lived?
He lives outside in a village outside of Bernard Castle. That's on the Tees River, but the nearby an hour's drive is Darlington, where he grew up when his dad worked in industry. In Darlington is the literature where that Rich has for the import-export company.
It's pretty neat.
So
Now, I don't have a lot of footage of working on this 1938 Model L because I was working on a different project. You're only going to see me really showing him try to start it. And it's a really cool tractor. I have a 1938L also. Mine is just a regular one sold in the U.S.
Oh, that's good suction.
Yeah, that's it.
Go.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
What just happened? The battery?
Take it. See, we don't know why that triggers like that.
Okay.
I think the battery's dead. That's what was happening to us.
Go. moonshine.
Yeah, it's run by moonshine, guys.
It's coming to its West Virginia heritage.
Yeah.
What's the British name for moonshine?
I don't know.
That I don't know. We may have to ask Siri.
You gotta fool this thing into thinking it's cockney or something.
Ralph, gentlemen.
Yeah. We can't.
Hold on, he's about to start this thing.
Gas in it.
A picture?
All right, everybody, we need a picture.
All right, fire it up, guys. Fire it up. Fire it up.
I'll choke as best I can.
Fire it up.
Throttle it back just a little bit. We got an airlock here, I think.
All right, she's gonna fire up now, huh?
Yeah. Yep. It's good. Come on. Come on, baby. Okay. The choke snapped back on.
I would say open the main jet valve, but there isn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely choked out. If I choke it out, it stops.
So we're missing it.
So I'm full throttle. Well, we're getting spark. We're getting trigger. It's obviously getting gas.
Yeah, that's all right.
We're getting it all at the right time.
That's true.
Ah, yeah. You know what?
What?
Let's look at that.
All right. Nice job, guys. Where's the muffkin? All right, you guys gonna fire that thing up? Oh, yeah!
That's the 1938 from Cooper Stuart, engineer in Darlington, England.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's okay. It's character. Eric, we got old? All kinds of old.
Eric's giving her the rub. Another guy named Alex was working on the Model D tractor. We tried to start it, and then I don't think it ever went any farther than where we were. It was very hard to turn over. And a lot of times you can use a belt and try to belt start a Model D off a Model L tractor, which we're trying to do. But the minute you'd start to turn it, it stalled out the Model L. So we're dealing with a tractor that probably hadn't run for 50 or 60 years, and we're trying to belt start something tough with it. That probably wasn't the best idea on our ends. Probably should have used a stronger power source that was more reliable, but we kind of never got any farther. He didn't have a carburetor on the Model D. We were just going to spray some ether in it and see if it would pop off, but we never really got past that. LED light interference in my video.
Rich! Here we go!
There's no pop.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, did you put the good spark plug wire back in?
Yep. Thank you.
Is that important?
Sometimes. Okay.
You don't have to, but it helps.
That might be the problem. We need to. The guy gas it.
That's what I'm wondering. If they got
No, it doesn't have a carb. They're just going to spray ether in it or something, see if it will fire for a minute.
All right, let's do it.
Saw that coming. Hey, you got to let that 38 warm up for a minute. It hasn't run in 100 years. Hey, Steve, put your foot down there and give that wheel a kick. No. Would it help if you hold the clutch down on the D so the wheel's not trying to spin, maybe? I'm not sure. Right, because the wheel doesn't spin if the clutch is. Yeah, right? Oh, that thing's stuck. That's stuck. What I was trying to joke around saying is put your foot up here and give the wheel a kick.
Oh. We just don't have much to spare.
That clutch is totally stuck. I was thinking if you pulled out on the clutch and the wheel wasn't spinning, would it have the balls to spin it? But that sucker, I can't even move the lever. Well, I got my lunch here. Got brats and jerk chicken that our buddy Duke made on his grill. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about the history of this 1938 Cooper Stuart Gravely. If you liked the video, comment, subscribe. If you're not, give it a thumbs up. That'll really help the channel. And stay tuned because there's a second video from the blow-in coming out on the rapid tractors. Thanks for watching.